only a few weeks away from Black Friday week. And anyone who is a client of ours knows how big we roll Black Friday week. So make sure you tune in to Condi.com, Dietrans.com. Make sure you check out our Facebook pages for more information on Black Friday week, because it will be here before you know it. I know we're going to have some awesome specials on some Crio systems and some CMYK 711s, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Also wanted to let everyone know, if you need Sawgrass Sublimation ink cartridges, order them from Condi Systems, because we now offer free ground delivery on all Sawgrass ink cartridges, no matter the make or the model. So make sure, if you need your hookup for cyan, magenta, yellow, black, for your SG 400, 800, 500, 1000, whatever, make sure you give us a call at Condi or visit our website, Dietrans.com. Also wanted to mention that if you order substrates from us and that order happens to be over $200, we offer free Condi ground delivery on those orders. So make sure you check that out. So free shipping on any of your ink cartridges, free ground delivery on substrates over 200. And of course, last but not least, don't forget about the Road to Sublimation Success, co-authored by our very own David Gross, because you know sublimation can be a scary thing. You know, lots of ghouls and goblins out there to get you, and this will definitely keep you on the right path. As a matter of fact, it wards off evil spirits. So make sure you get your copy, The Road to Sublimation Success. You can purchase it through Condi Systems, you can purchase it through Amazon, or you can download the digital version on Kindle. Okay, Rodeo Bo, let's get started. Let's have some fun. We're going to show you how to use various transfer papers to decorate items for Halloween. And the first thing we're going to do is we are going to do some candy bags with our own Halloween logo. How cool is that? Now, basically, what do we need? Well, first off, we need some paper bags. I picked these up at a local discount superstore. It was a pack of 50, probably cost me about $2. And then we got to print out the transfers that go on them. Now the transfers that I'm going to use in this demonstration is the Forever Laser Dark No Cut Low Temp, okay, which is this stuff here. And the reason that we're using the low temp is because we can apply low temp on a variety of different substrates, including other paper products. Now, I've already went ahead to save a little time and printed out some sheets here. And to give you an idea, these sheets, 8.5 by 11 with the image ganged on them, by the time you factor in the cost of the transfer paper and the cost of the toner, you're looking at roughly about 15 cents a graphic. So not expensive at all to do this little trick. We're going to use our trusty Geonite DK20S heat press. I've got it set for 240 degrees Fahrenheit. We're going to press for 15 seconds at a light pressure. And we're also going to try to do both sides. So let's go ahead, swing our heat press out. Let's grab our bags. And I'm just going to lay them out on the heat press like so. Okay, let's get a pair of scissors. Let's get a sheet of our logo. Let's slice them off. And oh, by the way, if I were to take these remaining sheets and put them in a sealable container and store them, I can still apply them up to a year after I originally printed the transfers, just so you know. So these things will keep. Let's go ahead and get 4 up real quick. And I'm just going to place them on my bags where I want the logo to appear. I'm not being very particular about this because we are just having fun. But once I've got them placed, this is a sheet of butcher paper or blowout paper. I'm just using this protective paper. 240 degrees, 15 seconds, light pressure. And while that's cooking up, Rodeo, I'm going to go ahead and cut my second strip. Alrighty. Timer. Okay. So I'm going to set my butcher paper to the side. I'm just going to flip the bags over. And I'm going to put a logo on the back because I'm fancy like that. Let's go ahead and give our second logo a quick cut. Let me gather them up here. Let me place them on the bags where I want them to appear. Cover with protective paper. And let's press the second side, 240 degrees, 15 seconds, light pressure. The digital readout on my DK20S is giving me about a 2 to 3 at the moment. So you really don't need to crush it. You just need enough pressure to hold the transfers down. Let's remove that cover sheet. And let me go ahead and get set up for my next trick. Check that pressure real quick, Rodeo. That should do the trick. Okay, everyone. So now, here I have my bags. Can everyone see that, Rodeo Bo? I hope so. Now what we have to do is we have to let these cool down for about 5 minutes before we remove the plastic off of them. But after that point, they should be good to go. All right, so we got our bags decorated. We've got our logo on them so everybody knows it's us. Now we need something to haul them in. And so the next thing we're going to do is we are going to work with this sublimatable tote bag. This is our Tote 01. But as you can see, there is a different material over that design. So that's just what we're going to try today. We're going to take an already sublimated bag, use it as the background, and then we are going to put Neon Forever Flex Soft over it. Now, of course, the danger here would be any dye migration, because the same heat process that gets the sublimation inks into the tote bag might drive them out when we try to put down this second layer. But if we do it at a low enough temperature, we can get away with it, and I'm about to show you how. So let me go ahead and grab my materials. I've got some neon orange Flex Soft that I've already decorated, and then I've got another tote bag here that I've already sublimated the design. So remember, we use sublimation to set this design. I'm going to go ahead, put that on my heat press. Side up I want to print, and now I'm going to go ahead and grab my transfer. And again, for the interest of saving a little time, I went ahead and did the A to B marrying step, so to speak, to apply the emulsion over the printed toner. Now the cool thing about Flex Soft is all we need to do is use composite black toner, because the graphic will turn whatever color film we print to. So in this particular case, neon orange. All right, so let me go ahead and get this set aside here.
Hey Doug, what kind of sublimation printer did you use?
What kind of sublimation printer did I use? I used a Sawgrass SG-1000. I think they call it a Virtuoso, I'm not sure, because sublimation isn't normally my bag, but I think it came off of one of those, Rodeo. But, you know, you could double check me just for accuracy.
Is it true you get free ground shipping on Sawgrass ink?
I think it is true that you get free shipping on Sawgrass ink. I think I just announced it. And if it's not true, then I'm a liar, but I'm not a liar, so it's true. Okay, so we did a little trim job here. Let me throw these little pieces away. So I've got my graphic, I've got my sublimated tote bag, and I went ahead and sublimated the background, so to speak. Let me go ahead and take my design. place that design where I want it to appear. I'm definitely going to cover with a sheet of butcher paper or blowout paper. And I've got my heat press set at 275 degrees. We're going to go 30 seconds with a medium pressure. Now, the reason I think we're going to be able to get away with this is because we can apply Forever Flex Off no-cut vinyl at low temperatures. So what I'm counting on is that the temperature is low enough to get the vinyl material to stick where I want it to and self-weed, but yet at not such a high temperature where we might cause the sublimation inks that are already in the fabric to migrate out. Because remember, the same heat process that sets the ink could get it to bleed out. But if we do have any bleed out, one sure sign indicator would be ink on our protective sheet. But looking at that protective sheet, Rodeo Bo, that looks pretty darn clean to me. So I don't think we had any dye migration take place. So now, just like the bags, what we want to do is let this material cool for about 5 minutes. But what I really like about this particular product, especially in the neon colors, the colors are reflective. So, you know, if we were to give this bag to a kid and they were to go out trick-or-treating, if any car headlights were to hit this bag, that neon orange is going to light up. So remember, safety first. That's why I wear the suit, okay? All right. So we've decorated some paper bags to hold our candy. We've got our tote bag to gather up all the loot that we're going to gather. So next thing I want to show you is in case you need a last-minute costume. Of course, we've got the ability to print whatever we want, which is pretty cool. You know, so if your kid comes to you the night before Halloween and says, but I really want to be Darth Vader this year, well, here's what we're going to try next. We're going to use our brand new self-weeding paper that we call LaserMPrints Trim-Free IC. And we're going to see if we could replicate a quick and simple Halloween costume, something to do at the last minute. All right, so let's go ahead and give this a shot, Rodeo. I'm going to need my transfers. I'm definitely going to need my transfers. Like I said, this material, it uses an A film sheet and a B sheet, very similar to the Forever Low Temp Laser Dark. But one thing that's unique about this particular product is we only do the A to B marrying press for 60 seconds, no matter whether it's 8.5 by 11 or 11 by 17. So one of the nice advantages of this particular paper, the LaserMPrints Trim-Free IC, over the Forever Low Temp, is if you had a lot of transfers to do, you could reduce your production time by only doing the marrying step for 60 seconds as opposed to 90 or 120. But let me go ahead and recalibrate my heat press here, Rodeo, because there's another thing we got to take into account when we're dealing with the LaserMPrints Trim-Free IC, and that it loves pressure. The more pressure we can apply, honestly, the better it performs. But for the A and B marrying step, if I'm using my GeoNight DK20S heat press, I want that pressure bar to hit somewhere at around a 7 or above whenever I'm putting the A sheet and B sheet of this product together. And when you peel the two sheets apart, the faster you peel them apart, the better your results are going to be. So unlike the Forever Low Temp, where it's kind of a low, slow process, this is much harder, but it is much faster. So like I said, if we had a bunch of these to crank out, it would be really sweet. But what we're going to do is demonstrate how we could basically take some t-shirt transfers, some images ganged up on an 11 by 17 sheet, and create a last-minute kids costume. So what I'm going to do, while the heat press is heating up, I'm just going to cut out the various components that I need. And we need a t-shirt, Rodeo Bo, so I'm going to grab one from the stack. And for demonstration purposes, I'm going to use a Hanes Beefy Tee 100% cotton t-shirt. I'm going to go ahead, let me get this protective paper out the way, Rodeo. I'm going to lay the shirt on my press in any area that's going to be hit with the press. I want a lint roll. But since this is basically going to be like a full fill graphic, rodeo, I'm pretty much going to have to lint roll the entire shirt. Now, one thing we will demonstrate as we are doing this step of making a quick costume shirt is the fact that some areas of the shirt are going to get pressed more than once as we do these steps. But basically, as long as the film stays on as we're doing these multiple pressings, the shirt itself should be okay. So let's go ahead, square it up as best I can. I wasn't so hot in squaring it during practice, but let me go ahead and give a quick preheat, about 5 seconds. Iron out the area, so I make sure I got a good flat surface. If I'm running low, take a sip of energy drink. And let me go ahead and grab the first part of my design. Now, as far as this design here, I made this up on the fly in CorelDRAW. Took me about 10-15 minutes to do. Nothing real complicated, just try to kind of go over how Darth Vader's ensemble actually lays out. But I know it's got these stripes here on the shoulder. So we're going to go ahead and get one shoulder done. That sound means our press is up to heat, which is good. We only need to press for 30 seconds, so let me adjust real quick. Let's go. Now, like I said, the cool part about this demonstration is we're basically going to press this shirt about 4 different times. But the graphics should be okay, even if they do get repressed more than once inside the press. As far as my application is concerned, I'm at 320 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 seconds with a heavy pressure. And like I said, the more pressure that you can work with, the better your results are going to be. So here's our first section down. Oops, technical difficulty. I'll put that transfer on upside down, Rodeo Bow. Let's see if it'll still work anyway. Of course, stuff like that always happens when you're working live, Rodeo.
Sprite said you were killing it, too.
Sprite says I'm killing it? Well, good, because, you know, I was kind of worried there for a second, Rodeo Bow, because, I mean, you know, I got to top a dog act. I don't know if anybody caught last week's Friday Live. Weren't you on that show, Rodeo Bow? Yeah, Rodeo Bow was there, and King Perseus was there. You know, the...
Dog and pony show.
Yeah, it was a dog show. Well, you know what they say in Hollywood, Rodeo. You never work with kids, and you never work with pets. Okay.
I know it worked for Clint Eastwood.
Well, you know... Clint Eastwood had a gorilla, and that's a whole different thing. An orangutan, that's right. Thank you for correcting me. But yeah, you know, it's kids and pets. You can't upstage them. That's why.
Didn't you make a shirt?
What's that?
Didn't you make a shirt for that?
Did I make a shirt for that? No. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I did make a Clint Eastwood and Clyde shirt. I probably wore it on a previous episode of the T-shirt Transfer Paper Power Half Hour.
Episode 21.
Bo, you don't know the exact episode. Quit pulling my leg, man. All right. Let's get the other stripies down. Again, we're hitting 30 seconds. While that is going, the Darth Vader control panel. Hope it controls AC, because these things, these Devo hazmat suits do not come with AC, ladies and gentlemen, and they get a little warm, just forewarning you. But hey, you know, I wear the outfit for the hat. You know, it's all about the hat, Rodeo Bow. All right, so we got 30 seconds there. Okay. Now I'm going to hang those previous transfers off. Well, let me do this. I'm going to use the collar to help me center the AC control switch to my Vader suit. Ooh, and while we got it here, Rodeo, can I get away with putting his power utility belt down at the same time? I do believe I can. Okay. So, like I said, about 15 minutes to design the graphic, a couple of minutes to produce the print, 60-second A to B Marion process, and then, about 2, 3, 4 presses to get the design down, depending on if you screw up like me or not. But basically, we can whip up, a custom homemade costume within minutes because we've got the ability to do it. We've got transfer printers, we've got transfer paper. All we're limited by is our diabolical imagination. Okay, so let's see, Rodeo. We've got all of our transfers down on this thing right now, and just like the other products, we need to let it cool for about 5 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set this off to the side. And thank goodness we don't need this heat press anymore, because the last project we're going to tackle, we're not going to need heat. What we're going to do is we're going to work with our water slide material. Now, water slide material basically works like a model decal. You put it into water and you slide the film off. And this is designed to go onto items that you cannot put inside of a heat press, like a candle or a bar of soap, or in this case, a real pumpkin. Yeah, we're going to see if we could put water slide on a pumpkin. Now, in order to demonstrate that, I'm just going to move some of these items off to the side because I'm going to show you what I got. First off, I need a pumpkin, and then I've got a tray here that I'm going to use to hold some water. I'm going to add a little dish soap to that water to kind of activate the film off of the backing sheet. I'm going to use a sponge as a squeegee, and to kind of prep the area to help it stick, I've got some Elmer's basically glue stick that I'm going to use. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me grab my water slide transfer. Thank you, Rodeo. Oh, this isn't drinking water. No, we're going to pour this water into our tray like so. And I'm going to take my dishwashing soap. Only takes a couple of drops. Use my fingers to mix it up. Like Palmolive, you're soaking in it. All right. You have to be old to get the Palmolive reference. So that's why Rodeo is staring at me with a blank face. Okay. Now, remember, when it comes to water slide designs, we print our design right reading. Now, I've got this one here, Rodeo. Or, I think I have something a bit more sinister. Do you have a preference, Rodeo?
Let's go silly.
Let's go silly. Well, I'm down with that. Okay, so what we're going to do here, I'm going to trim around my design. Using a pair of scissors. Now, if you were to use the water slide dark, where you have a white background instead of a clear background, just so you know, you can use a craft cutter or a CAD cutter to trim that design into something more intricate, okay? So it can be done. But what I'm going to do here, Rodeo, let me kind of get an idea of where I want this design to appear on my pumpkin. Now that looks like a bad spot here. I'm thinking we go for it right there, Rodeo. All right. So now what I'm going to do is take the design, dunk it down into my water, and when you first put the water slide in, kind of like bacon, it wants to curl up. Use your fingers to keep it flat, so to speak. We don't want curled bacon, ladies and gentlemen. So while that needs to sit for about 30 seconds to a minute, I'm going to use my glue stick. And I'm going to go ahead and kind of prep the area to help this stick, Rodeo Bow. Now, what I did before we came live was I did use some cleaning material to kind of clean off the surface of the pumpkin that I plan to decorate, but I did that mainly as a precaution. Okay, so now here comes the tricky part, Rodeo. Walking my water slide over without spilling anything. Good thing I wore the suit. Okay. So, what I'm going to do, you can kind of use your fingers to see if the paper is sliding, but once it starts to slide on you, I'm going to go ahead and pull it out here. And now, what I want to do is just kind of pull the paper out underneath it. And I'm going to use a damp sponge, kind of like a squeegee here. So does it work? Well, kinda, if you have the patience to put it down. But let's see if we can start to get these air bubbles out. What I like about this attempt, and we have never done this before, ladies and gentlemen, this is the first time, I think, in transfer paper television history that we've ever attempted to decorate a pumpkin with a transfer. So not only are you enjoying the Halloween special on the T-shirt Transfer Paper Power Half Hour, you are witnessing history. Okay. What I dig about this is that, of course, we don't have to carve the pumpkin. And if we had a real intricate design, so to speak, then we could really make it stand out. I'm going to gently set this down over here, Rodeo Bow. So basically, once we have our design laid out, so to speak, we're going to try another experiment. Heat gun! Oh no, Sprite's not here. No adult supervision. But what I'm going to do is see if I could use the heat gun, so to speak, to accelerate the drying process. Maybe get some of these extra air bubbles out. But then again, the extra air bubbles may just give it character, Rodeo. So you get the gist. Of course, I could also use paper towel to help mat it. Well, what do you say, Rodeo? Do we got a decent looking pumpkin there? Heck yeah, we do. All right. So now that our pumpkin turned out, let's see how our other creations did. Remember, we were doing the bags. Okay. So, got my bags here from the first thing we did was using Forever laser dark, no cut, low temp to put on paper products. Okay, can everyone see that, Rodeo? We can go ahead and start rolling the film. So far, so good. All right, so there's one side down. Let me flip these over. And let's peel away the second side. The film comes off real easy. So let's open up our decorated bag. So we can show peeps. I'll go to this camera here. Done with Forever Laser Dark, no cut, low temp, because we can put it on all kinds of stuff, even other paper products. This one's probably Rodeo Bo's bag, so let's put some candy in there.
Are they gluten-free?
I don't know if they're gluten-free, but these are Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, Rodeo. You should be grateful. All right. So now we've got our decorated bag. Let's put them in our decorated tote. Let's grab our tote here that we applied the Forever Flex Soft No Cut, the self-weeding vinyl. Again, this area was already sublimated, but we went down onto the material at 270 degrees. And now we've added some reflective pumpkins to our decorated bag for safety's sake. And this little bit of excess, well, look at that. We can roll a lint roller right over, pick up those little excess flakes, and it did not affect the sublimation print at all. Check that out. Okay, so now I've got my decorated tote bag. I'm going to go ahead and bag up all my loot, Rodeo Bo, because after all, this is just for demonstration purposes only. Oh, one thing I'm forgetting, our costume shirt. Yeah, let's check on our costume shirt, ladies and gentlemen. I'll have to sort out the candy later, but oh, there's got to be a way this goes, Rodeo. There we go. Now, like I said, when it comes to these self-weeding transfers, we need to give them about 5 minutes to cool down, so to speak. Now, if this were the Forever product, we would roll the material off like we did the previous two. But this is the LaserMPrints trim-free IC. It works better with what I call the Olay, where you just basically grip and rip. I'm going to hold it up here, Rodeo. So our super quick Darth Vader custom made costume shirt, done with LaserMPrints trim-free IC Dark. So I hope you enjoyed all my little tricks that I wanted to share with you so that you can enjoy your Halloween. If you have any questions about the items that we covered in this video, make sure to comment in the comment section on YouTube or on Facebook, or you can shoot us an email. Our inbox is TTPPHH@Conde.com. Let us know what questions you have. We'll answer them as fast as we can. Also, don't forget to like and share this video with anyone in the industry that you think might enjoy these helpful tips and tricks. And also make sure to tune in to Condi TV for future presentations of the T-shirt transfer paper power half hour. As a matter of fact, Rodeo, our next episode is going to be on Tuesday, November 9th. Now, you want to tune in for that episode because what we're going to do is begin our exploration, so to speak, of the new CAD-Link Digital Factory 10 RIP, and we are going to tackle a particular feature in this RIP called supersize. And what it can do is it can take your low-res bitmap JPEG graphics and blow them up at a much higher resolution, preserving the detail that you need to take a small graphic and make it large enough for a t-shirt transfer. It should be an interesting show, and I hope you tune in. But until then, I'm Doug DeWitt, T-shirt transfer paper product manager here at Condi Systems, thanking you for watching our Halloween special here on the T-shirt transfer paper power half hour. Our time is up. Thank you for yours.